So do you also use Paperform for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to create Flowlu contact on Paperform submission. So over here I'm running a real estate agency and we use Paperform to collect the details of our potential clients. So now what I want is that as soon as we receive the details of a potential client with the help of Paperform, automatically with the help of these same details a new contact should be created in my Flowlu account too. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Paperforms and Flowlu. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So in this tutorial I'll show you how to automatically create a Flowlu contact whenever someone submits a paper form. So if you're using Paperform to collect client information or project inquiries, connecting it with Flowlu can be really helpful. It ensures all submissions are instantly saved as contacts. This automation saves time, keep your CRM updated, and lets you to focus on building strong client relationships. So let's get started with a really simple example. So as you know that I'm running a real estate agency and this is the form I'm using for my agency to collect the potential client information. So as you can see that let's say my name is Dummy Lead and I'm going to fill in this form right over here with my details. So you can see all the details which I've entered right over here, and now I'm just going to click on submit, and as soon as we are going to click on submit, it is saying submission successful. So now I'm just going to open my Flowlu account and we are going to refresh this contacts page in order to check that a new contact has been created. And yes, you can see a new contact has been created. You can see the name, which is Dummy Lead. You can see the phone number which we entered, and also you can see the email which we entered, right? So yes, this is the automation we are going to learn in today's video. And if you also want to build this automation for your business, then you have to watch this video till the end. So in order to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of dollars free every month. Over here I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on sign in, and as soon as we are going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly, but in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, which is Paperforms and Flowlu, right? So I'm just going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account, and as soon as we are going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we're going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So with here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create a Flowlu contact on Paperform submission Paperform to Flowlu, and then we are going to click on create, and as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window of our automation because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and action are basically the two main principles on which our automation will work. Okay, so trigger says when this happens and action says do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. So by this you can finally understand that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger, right? But over here in our today's automation, I want to create a Flowlu contact on Paperform submission. Okay, so Paperform would be our trigger right over here because it is going to give me a command whenever a new submission is received, and Flowlu will follow the commands because we have to create a contact, right? So that's why we are going to select the trigger application right over here as Paperforms. So I'm just going to search for Paperform right over here, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select it, and now it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically trigger event event is the event on which the workflow will start. So here what I want is that as soon as a new form submission is made, my workflow should start or get triggered, right? So we are going to select the same as the trigger event. And as soon as we're going to select the trigger event, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are going to use the same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Paperform account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to copy this webhook URL right from here, and then we are going to follow this help text, and it is saying log into your Paperform account, click on the edit option of any form and navigate to the after submission tab. Click on the integration and webhooks tab, scroll down and go to webhook section available and click on add webhook button. Okay, we are going to follow the same. I'm just going to put my Paperform account right from here, and as you can see that this is the form I want to create this automation for, which is real estate leads. So what we're going to do is, we are going to go towards the edit of this form right over here. You have to keep in mind that you have to select the same form for which you want to create this automation for. Now after opening this form, we have to go towards the after submission. Okay, and after coming on towards the after submission, over here you can see integration and webhooks. So we are just going to go towards the integration and webhooks. So I'm just going to click on this right over here. Okay, so over here you can see all the direct integrations, right? So we are just going to scroll right over here and look for webhooks, and as you can see webhooks right over here. So I'm just going to open this webhooks right from here, and as you can see the button of add webhook. So we have to go towards the add webhook button right over here, and now we're going to paste the webhook URL right over here. Now after pasting this webhook URL, it is saying triggered on. So for that we have to select new submission, and after selecting new submission right over here, we have to click on this button which says create. And as soon as we're going to click on create, yes, you can see that we have successfully added our webhook URL right over here, and with this we have successfully created a connection between our Paperform account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission and record. So what we have to do is, we have to test our connection right over here. For that I'm just going to open my form right from here. Before doing the test submission, what we're going to do is, I'm just going to open my Paperforms once again, and over here we are going to click on this publish right over here. And as soon as we are going to click on publish, you can see your form has been published. Okay, so now I'm just going to open it right from here, and after opening this right from here, we are going to do the test submission. So let's say this time for the first name I'm going to keep it as demo. For the last name I'm going to keep it as lead right over here. We are going to move on forward. For the email I'm going to keep it as demo@pabblydudes.com. You can see the contact number, and over here for the preferred property type I'm going to keep it as land. And now it is saying when are you looking to move. Okay, so I'm just going to select it as not sure right over here, and now it is saying do you have any question or comments. So I'm just going to keep it as no, and then we're going to click on submit right over here. And as soon as we are going to click on submit, yes, you can see submission successful. So yes, with this we have successfully submitted this, and now what has happened is that Paperform has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to open my workflow, and we are going to check for the response received. And yes, you can see that we have successfully captured the webhook response. Over here you are going to see all the details which we entered in our test submission. Okay, so as you can see that over here is when are you looking to move. We are going to move on forward. Over here you can see the land, which is the preferred property type which we selected. You can see the same phone number which we entered. Over here you can see the same email which we entered. Okay, right over here you can see the first name which we entered and the last name which we entered, right? So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new Paperform submission is received, automatically Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same and trigger this workflow. So now what we're going to do is, I want to create a Flowlu contact on Paperform submission, correct? So for my action application, I'm going to select it as Flowlu. So I'm just going to search for Flowlu right over here, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select it. And after selecting this, it is asking me for the action event. So what I want is, I want to create a contact, right? So I'm going to search for contact, and as you can see, create CRM contact. So we are going to select this and click on connect. And as soon as we are going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Flowlu account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the API key and the account URL. And to get this, we are going to follow the help text, and it is saying log into your Flowlu account, navigate to the profile and go to the portal settings, then API settings, and then click on add button. Okay, we're going to follow the same. I'm just going to open my Flowlu account. Right from here, we have to go towards the profile picture, and then we have to go towards the portal settings. And after coming on towards the portal settings, from the left side of the bar, we have to go towards the API settings. And after coming on towards the API settings, we have to go on this add button. And now as soon as we are going to click on this add button, it is asking me for the name. Okay, so let's say that for the name, I'm going to keep it as Paperform submission. So I'm just going to enter Paperform right over here, and then we're going to move on forward. For the select applications, I'm going to select CRM right over here because I want to create a contact, and this is the application we are going to use in order to create a contact. And after doing this, we are going to click on save, and as soon as we are going to click on save, yes, you can see over here is my API key. So I'm just going to copy this key right from here, and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this API key, it is asking me for the account URL, and to get this account URL, once again I'm just going to open my Flowlu account, and over here you can see the URL right over here. So what we are going to do is I want to only enter the URL till .com. Okay, after .com we have to ignore the URL. So what we're going to do is once again we are going to open the Flowlu account, and as you can see that this is the URL which we want to enter, which is https:// you can see that my domain, then .flowlu.com. So I'm just going to copy this right from here, and we're going to paste it right over here in my workflow. Once again, you have to keep in mind that after .com you have to remove any slashes or any another thing written. Okay, so now after doing this, we are just going to click on save, and as soon as we are going to click on save right over here, with this we have successfully connected our Flowlu account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the honorific title ID right over here. So as you can see that we haven't received this in the response, right? So we can't select this one right from here. So I just want to remove this. For that, we are just going to switch on this mapping button and erase this right from here. If you wish, you can definitely select one from right over here. And if you have collected the response of honorific title ID, then you can map that right over here. We're going to move on forward towards the first name, last name, and another details. So now we are going to map all of these details right over here, but you must be wondering what is mapping, right? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Paperform as our trigger application. So we're going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So here I'm going to give you an example that it is asking me for the first name, right? So let's say that I'm going to enter the first name right over here manually by typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is static information and I've entered it manually. But let's say that we're going to erase this right from here and we're going to map the name from the previous response. So I'm just going to look for name in the previous response, which is the first name, and as you can see, demo. So let's say we're going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change. That's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. So as you can see that we ignore this honorific title ID because we didn't have these details to map. Okay, and if we selected it right from here, it would have turned static. So that's why we switched on this mapping button and erased it right from here. We're going to move in forward. We're going to map the last name too. I'm just going to look for last name right over here, and as you can see the, so we're going to map it. Over here we're going to map the email address. I'm going to look for email address, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the description. So if you want, you can definitely add a description right over here, but I don't wish to add so we're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the category. So for the category, let's say that I'm going to select it as prospect right over here. Okay, I have selected this right over here because I want to keep this information as static only. We are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the industry. So we don't have the industry of our client, so again we're going to switch on this mapping button and erase industry right from here. Okay, because I want to leave this field as blank, we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the address. So address is not the required information. Once again we're going to leave it as blank and map the phone number. So here I'm going to enter the phone number of
my potential client, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We're going to move on forward. You can see it is asking me for many another details. So as you can notice, all of these details are not the required details, so I'm just going to leave it as blank right over here and move on forward. So yes, now after mapping all of the required details, we are going to move on forward and click on this blue button which says save and send as request. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response. We have successfully created a new contact in our Flowlu account. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to open my Flowlu account and check for the new contact created. So now after opening my account, from the left side of the bar, we have to go towards the CRM and then the contacts. And as soon as we are going to come over here towards the contacts, you can see a new contact has been created. You can see the name, which is demo lead. You can see the phone number which we have entered, and also the email which we entered, right? So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new Paperform submission is made, automatically a contact is going to be created in my Flowlu account without any manual efforts. This workflow is going to run in backend, and we don't have to come back in again to this workflow and click on save and send test request. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now I'll just summarize it for you once. For the trigger application, we selected Paperform. For the trigger event, we selected new form submission. For the action application, we selected Flowlu, and then for the action event, we selected create CRM account, which is contact. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow and this video too. And if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just glue on this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.